Oh my god, I was like, damn girl, you're about to die. It's the virus. Everybody, it's a beautiful day today. The sun is out, it's bright, and the weather is a bit warm. It's not as cold as usual. I'm sure you guys have heard about the current corona outbreak in China, and that's why I have my mask on. I hope you guys can hear me clearly. Today, I ran out of supplies. I need to get some food, so I'm gonna go to the grocery store to pick up a few things, and also I am gonna take a different gate than the one that I usually get because the school has closed some points of entry on campus because they're trying to regulate the movement of people in and out, and most of the people right now who are in school are international students, so they're just trying to like block out any person who doesn't belong, you know. And for me to actually be able to exit the gate that I'm going to be using today, I have to have a special certificate, and yeah, I just got that done today, and it just states my student number and my room number and what time I'm leaving and then what time I'm expected to come back into campus. So they're like really trying to like deal with the situation as it is. The school is very empty. People were supposed, you know, before this outbreak, it was a holiday, right? Like the usual normal Chinese New Year. But now that, oh, the light on this side is better. But now that there is this huge outbreak, everything has been postponed. People are not back yet. That's why the school is still so empty and so quiet. I'm not used to this. Like, I'm literally the only one on the street. So yeah, let's see what's happening on the outside world. Like, I'm really interested to see how like ordinary Chinese people are living, how they're coping. So I hope today, as I get out of campus, because I've just been in my room, I haven't been going anywhere, doing anything. I've just been in my room. Sometimes I'll take walks in the evening just to, you know, let up some stress and just to stretch. But most of the time I'm just in my room, keeping myself busy. And yeah, I have this mask on, and this is a surgical mask, and I also have a cotton mask that I'm gonna put over this. This is the one that's recommended for us to wear, but then just me being me, I'm gonna put on something else over it to double up on the about what the school's done on it. As you can see, there's nobody around. There's usually construction work on this side, but today there's nothing going on. And then yeah, this is the this is usually a very busy place, especially during this time of the day, but now it's super quiet. There's very little movement. Look at this lady, she's stocked up, huh? Got a whole lot of supplies. Everybody has their mask on. And it's super quiet, so quiet. My goodness, most of the shops are closed, so closed. It's very quiet. I'm not used to it being this way. I'm now in the supermarket and I can't seem to find anything that I need right now. First day, I needed bleach to disinfect my surfaces, but there is no stock. That means I won't be getting bleach today. And now I'm looking for tissue. My favorite brand is not available, so that means I have to find other options around here. Some shelves are empty, but it's not bad. It's like, you know, you can at least find something. It's currently the following day and I just woke up. I just wanted to show you guys what life is like on lockdown. Things are a bit different, you know. Obviously I live in the students dormitory, and the school has taken the initiative to regulate movement inside and outside campus. You know, you cannot just come in and go as you please. So there's very little that I can do. All I'm allowed to do is to just stay in my room. So I just have to find different ways to try and entertain myself and just keep myself busy. So I mostly watch things online, talk with family and friends. I think they're now getting tired of me. And what I've recently started to really appreciate, and I've got into like the habit of doing it regularly, is like just taking walks outside and just going out for my morning and evening exercises, because I can't go to the gym. But even when I do go out for like walks and stuff, I still have to have my mask on. And that's exactly what I'm about to do. I'm gonna go out for my morning exercise. I woke up very late today, I won't lie, because I slept very late yesterday. I just couldn't fall asleep. I don't know, it's not like I'm like going through something or anything. I just was struggling to fall asleep. That's just it. And yeah, plans for the day. I have some assignments that I have to do, so I'm gonna do that. And they are due this month, or one of them is due this month, so I have to like try to get progress on that. And also we'll just see what the day brings. What else? A lot of people are going back home. Actually, a lot of people are still traveling. There are a lot of like travel restrictions that some of you might have heard, like flights coming in and out of China. Some countries are allowing them to land, some countries are just blocking them out. So a lot of flights are being cancelled, even if you booked way before the virus started. As long as your flight is supposed to move on these days, it has been cancelled. So a lot of my classmates are actually going back home, and for me, I didn't have plans to go home this summer because I am about to finish, so it wouldn't make sense for me to go home, come back, finish up, and then go back again. So I might as well just deal with the situation as it is and try to stay calm as much as possible and just stay put. So anyway, guys, let's get this day started. Oh my god, do you guys know how hard it is to exercise with this mask on your face? Oh my god, I am breathing extra. So let's have a quick little chit chat. It's a bit windy. I hope this footage will come out alright. But let's talk about this virus. Now the thing is, when it first started, obviously there wasn't a lot of information that was out there, and the Chinese government wasn't really like putting up enough information. So a lot of people started making up rumors, which were all lies. I feel like you can see my face. My hair is a mess, don't judge me, y'all. It's a whole mess. I'm a boy underneath this cap. But like I was saying, a lot of rumors came out which were obviously not true, and that sent people on a frenzy. People were panicking because, you know, nothing, like no true verified information was coming out, and people were just making conclusions and just rushing to do things which I feel like if there was a good communication from the get-go, it wouldn't be what it is today, but the government, eventually caught up to the situation, and they were like, they began releasing information and even tried to translate for foreigners. There are a lot of experts in China, you guys. There's a whole huge expert community in this country that, obviously when information comes out and it's not just in Chinese, it even reaches out people who don't speak Chinese as a first language. So I feel like that whole from the first few days, obviously people were dying because, we knew what the situation was, but we didn't really have the facts. But a lot of people were just panicking, and I don't blame them. That's why a lot of people decided to go back home or just to go to other countries, because information wasn't coming out, But yeah, as I was saying, but I feel like now the situation is definitely under the control. And for me, when everything came out, obviously I informed my family, and then they didn't know at the time what was going on, but I made sure that I communicated with them so that they don't hear things from other people. And then eventually when I started seeing things on social media, and CNN and BBC was reporting things that me as a person living in China, I wasn't aware of, which I feel like a lot of information that is being put out there by the Western media is not necessarily true. So it was even more hard to convince my family that, no, you guys, I'm fine, it's okay, the situation is under control, the government is doing its best. And me talking to them, I was able to calm them down. But there was a time, right, I was really scared. I cried. So I felt sick. We had a 3-day church conference, which was from morning to evening, and I was serving at that conference, right? And then just immediately after the conference, I just had this terrible headache. I'm not a headache person, I don't get sick easily, but I was just having this bad headache, and like I'd go to bed with it, I'd wake up with it for 2 days straight. And then on the third day, I woke up because I had bought painkillers and vitamin C. So I tried to take them that morning, and then I began to vomit. Oh my God, I was like, damn girl, you're about to die. It's the virus. So I called my sister, and I was crying on the phone. I was panicking. I was like, yo girl, I think I'm sick. I was saying my goodbyes and stuff. And then she was like, no, don't worry, just stay calm. She really calmed me down that day. Oh, I thank God for her, because she really calmed me down. She reassured me that, just go to the hospital and then we'll figure it out from there. So yeah, I did go to the hospital, and I did some blood tests, and they all came out negative, and they just said it was just a headache, it'll go away. I wasn't even given medication at the hospital. They just told me to drink water and it'll go away. And indeed, the following day, the headache was gone. And then I've been fine ever since. So I just had a little bit of a scary situation. But overall, okay. So earlier today, my battery died while I was still recording, but it's now later on the day. I'm now in my room. I obviously don't have my mask on, but I wanted to close off this video and say that the reason why I didn't go home is because I felt like the government had measures in place. Like, China is a strong economy. China is a force. This is the second largest economy in the world. It's on its way to be number one. That one I promise you. But I just felt like I was safe. I was better off here. Plus, if I would have traveled at that time, I would be more exposed because the airports were packed and stuff like that. But I will say this, that even up to today, people are still going out of China. Even when, certain airlines have blocked flights coming in and out of China. And also my country, because obviously I'm from Botswana, people, the government is saying if you can afford to go home, or if you want to go home, you should go home. But they're not saying come or don't come. If you want to go back home, you'll be welcomed with open arms. If you decide to stay, the government will still support you. And also, I also like to mention that during times like this, it's very important to support each other, because there are a lot of Botswana here, and in Nanjing and even in other cities, because I used to talk to my friend in Beijing, and I'd be like, yo bro, what's happening that side, is everything okay? And then be like, oh yeah, it's all good, what's happening that side? We'll just like constantly update each other. And also, I have friends in Nanjing as well who are from Botswana as well, and we just kept each other, strong. Like, we talk on the phone, we call each other, we're just each other's keeper. Like, we're constantly supporting each other. I remember when I had the headache, they were calling me, checking up on me, like, girl, did you go to the hospital? What did the doctor say? Da, 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 da. So it was all good. And also, some people from Nanjing, Botswana left to go back home. And because some people, parents will just be on that whole panic mode, and they'll just be like, no, I cannot afford to take this risk with my child, you better come back home now. At some point my sister wanted to buy me a ticket, but I was like, yo girl, I'm fine, like I'm okay here. So yeah, plus I also didn't want to expose myself to the airport situation and stuff like that. But yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. I'm about to edit and do other things.